been a successful entrepreneur and technocrat, but can he be successful in his third innings as politician? Today we track the campaign trail of Nandan Nilekani, who's fighting one of the most toughest contests as general election as he takes on five-time BJP MP Anant Kumar. What is Nandan's game plan to dethrone Anant Kumar? Find out as we decode Nandan Nilekani's campaign code.
There's celebration in the air. With all the excitement and chaos of an election campaign in a vibrant democracy like India, workers throng the road as they prepare to welcome the newest poster boy of the Congress party, Nandan Nilekani. But he's no ordinary Netha. He co-founded India's second-largest software firm, Infosys. He spearheaded the Aadhar program, giving every Indian a unique ID card. And he authored a book outlining a vision for India called Imagining India, a book in which he describes himself as unelectable. Nandan is also the richest politician going into election, with a net worth of a whopping 7,700 crore rupees, wealth that he says is proof of the fact that he's not getting into politics to make money.
I have not joined politics to make money. Please understand that. Being a co-founder of Infosys under the leadership of Murthy, I was able to succeed financially. Today I've come to serve the people. I think India needs leaders who can bring change. Politics is the lever of change. And I look forward to working in the Congress party to bring great change and opportunity for the people of India and Bengaluru.
Nandan stands out in a system that thrives of dynasty politics and undisclosed sources of income. But his unique identity in politics hasn't stopped him from entering one of the toughest contests this election season. He'll face off with five-time BJP MP Anant Kumar for the prestigious Bangalore South constituency. Perhaps aware of the daunting challenge at hand, Nandan now spends every hour he has to make an impression among voters. He starts his day by walking in parks across Bangalore South, a constituency that retains its old-world charm and greenery, despite the onslaught of the IT industry in recent decades.
So in the last 3 months, we've really seen you transform from a very mild-mannered person to this very aggressive politician who doesn't hesitate from pulling punches versus his rivals. Sometimes are you, worried about the transformation that your personality is seeing as a result of politics?
No, I get, when people tell outright lies and make false allegations, I have to come out very strongly. So I think, I didn't want to get into a confrontational situation, but unfortunately, I have an opponent who has not performed, and to cover up his performance, he's making wild allegations. So obviously, I have to respond.
So you think his chances have narrowed after your entry in the campaign?
Oh, there's no question. I think there's a huge anti-incumbency in Bangalore South. The gentleman has been there for 5 terms. There's nothing to show for it. People want change. They want a new person. They want someone who's honest. They want someone who has performed in private sector, have performed in the government, have performed in urban governance. They want a local person. They want someone who keeps his promises. So I'm getting a very good response from the people of Bengaluru.
So also Aadhar, with the Supreme Court verdict with respect to that, can you still showcase it as one of your success stories?
Absolutely. I think, what did the Supreme Court say? It said 2 things. One, it upheld the UIDAI position that privacy should be maintained. That is, we had gone to the court saying, because there were some other agencies wanting the data, the UIDAI went to the court, so it is actually supporting us. The other thing the court reiterated was that government services should not be mandatory with Aadhar. So that's something that's being discussed in the main court. So Aadhar is here to stay. 60 crore people have Aadhar. It's here to stay.
Also, sir, reservation in private sector, you've said that it shouldn't be over-regulated, but your party manifesto said we should build a national consensus. Where do you stand in this?
I would agree with that. We should talk to all the stakeholders and build a consensus. And I think the private sector should be proactive in creating opportunity for underprivileged people. So there's no doubt that they also have to act. So I would agree completely with the Congress manifesto, which is just saying that there should be a dialogue.
But could it alienate you from your voters? Because young voters we've been speaking to in the IT engineering space are not too happy with this particular proposal.
I've always said the long-term solution for India is massive job expansion. If we can create jobs that nobody is left without a job, then this becomes a non-issue. So my whole emphasis in scaling up job creation.
Is this an individual campaign rather than a party campaign? Because a lot of people say, we like Nandan Nilekani, but what has the Congress done for 10 years?
No, this is very much a party campaign. I'm working very closely with the Congress party. In fact, all the people here are Congress party workers, and the entire Congress party has put its weight behind my campaign. The CM has started his campaigning in Karnataka in my constituency on Monday. I think you were there. Mr. Parmeshwar has been very supportive. All the MLAs and the ministers from the area, Mr. Ramling Reddy, Mr. Krishnappa, Priya Krishna,
So you've managed to get the state on your side?
No, I think the Congress party is completely behind me, and I'm grateful for the support.
Lastly, sir, in your book Imagining India, on the first page you talk about being unelectable. I think in between you talk about...
Nice transformation. Boss, make sure everybody votes.
In the first page you talk about being unelectable, and I think in between you talk about how technocrat politicians are usually perceived. You say they are members of a rarefied field. How are you going to ensure that you're not a member of a rarefied field and someone more connected?
I'm standing for election. I chose not to go into the parliament through the upper house because I wanted to go through the rigor of an election, meet 1 million voters, get their feedback, and that will help me to be a better politician.
Nandan tries to blend in and shed his persona as IT czar. He meets with residents on their morning walks and joins them for breakfast, tucking into what every South Indian loves, masala dosas.
This is really the heart of Bangalore South, Kanhaiya. What sort of response have you been getting so far, across the parks, across the restaurants here?
I think it's a fantastic response. Everybody's saying they want candidates like me. They want someone who's clean, good image, someone who has built professional excellence in other areas like I have done in business and in government. Someone who's actually going to take an interest in the city, not somebody who sits in Delhi and comes only at election time.
A lot of people also ask you, you're a billionaire, why are you contesting elections? What do you tell them?
Well, because I think politics is the biggest driver of change, and India needs a lot of change if we are going to meet the aspirations of our young people. So I'm really here to bring change in Indian politics.
While Congress officially declared Nandan's candidature only last month, talks of his political plunge came in as early as September last year. Propping up a candidate with a clean, progressive image like Nandan was a shot in the arm for the scam-ridden Congress. In his years as UIDAI chairman, Nandan endeared himself to the first family of Indian politics, getting a ticket to fight the election even before he formally joined the party. But endearing himself to the people in Karnataka has not been as easy. While his former colleague Mohandas Pai raised concerns about his lack of grassroots experience, the local Congress unit saw him as an outsider, parachuted from Delhi to contest Bangalore South. The fact that he is Konkani and not Kannadiga didn't help his cause either. But in the last few weeks, Nandan has polished up his Kannada skills and is using his networking abilities to get Congress leaders and workers rallying around him.
The hundreds of workers gathered here from the Congress party is really a show of strength by Nandan Nilekani, led by none other than the Karnataka Chief Minister at the forefront. It's an effort by him to counter criticism that he's still treated as an outsider as far as the Congress party in Karnataka is concerned.
I'm fighting this election to give you opportunity. Everyone wants a change from Anant Kumar. This is what people have said during Padyatras. Confident of elections this time, we are confident we can work together to win this election. Congress hasn't won this seat for 25 years. We need a change this time.
We have to make Congress win in all 3 Bangalore constituencies. We need to work to give Nilekani a huge lead. Nandan Nilekani has a clean character. He's been a part of Infosys, started the Aadhar program, and intellectuals need to enter the political mainstream. So we need to support Nilekani to win.
Nandan started laying the groundwork for his political debut months before his candidature became official. He made himself more visible in Bangalore and floated a website where he invited citizens to suggest ideas for a better Bengaluru. A group of volunteers under the name Together with Nandan banded together, taking a break from studies and work to campaign for him.
We have with us some of the volunteers of the Together with Nandan campaign. Now, these people are outside the political system, not political workers, but people who've just decided to take time off and campaign for Nandan Nilekani. Let's speak to them to find out, what's really motivating them and why they believe Nandan can bring change to Bangalore. Thank you so much for talking to us. Just tell us about your background and why Together with Nandan.
So, well, previously I've kind of been involved in the social sector a little bit, but I've just kind of turned entrepreneur recently. And I think this is important for me in a sense because I think we're at a very tipping point in our elections in our country. We have a lot of churn, and I think it's right to support the good candidate. Local issues are very important as well for me. And I think Nandan has shown that he can deliver on many different fronts in many different places.
As we keep campaigning, we notice that a lot of people say that maybe he has made a wrong choice with the party. But at the end of the day, we all need a good man up there. I think that is the most important thing. A good man, even if the party is not that popular today, but I think once he gets in, he's going to make a change to that party.
How do you really ensure that, this just doesn't stay a force in the social media, but people actually go out and vote for him? What are you really doing to, take steps in that direction?
So what we do is we call people and then request them to vote for Nandan because today there's a lack of good people in politics, and Nandan is like a breath of fresh air, and that's what inspires us to keep going. And what we do is every day we go door to door and then tell people about Nandan and why he's the right candidate and why he should be given a chance.
His wife Rohini Nilekani, a journalist turned philanthropist, hopes her experience in the social sector will help in widening Nandan's campaign from the classes to the masses.
Joining us on this leg of the campaign is Rohini Nilekani, who's been playing a very proactive role in Nandan's campaign. Her broken arm hasn't really come in the way of breaking her spirit. Rohini, thank you so much for talking to ET now. You're playing a very proactive role in this campaign, but what was the family's reaction when you first heard about Nandan's political plunge? You and the children, it must have come as quite a shock then.
We had been in discussions on this because many people were urging Nandan, you must do something more, and he himself had realized that he had reached the limits of what he can do from outside the political system. We were in discussions, but I was waiting for him to make up his mind. And the day he said, I have made up my mind, there's a lot of fear and uncertainty because you know how it is in politics, it can be rough. But later I realized he's absolutely right. Anyone who's capable of doing more and more strategically for the country should. And if people like us don't do it, then we don't have any right to stand outside and keep on complaining. So I'm very proud of his decision. It's tough, but I'm supporting him.
How do you really map his transformation from entrepreneur to technocrat to Neta? Are you seeing changes in his personality as well? Because he's become, more aggressive of late, not pulling his punches at all when it, comes to his rivals.
See, Nandan does always what it takes to get the job done. In this case, people have been simply telling lies, and you have to counter lies, It's when people keep silent at the wrong time and good people keep silent that in history we've seen what kind of forces take over. So Nandan does what is required to be done when the time comes. His focus is on what he has decided to do in the public interest. So whatever it takes to do it for that in the right way, he will do.
Right. People are also talking about, that this is not just a battle between Nandan and Anant Kumar. It's also a battle of the wives.
You can join us too.
Rohini versus Tejaswini Anant Kumar. What do you make of that?
Oh, really? I don't think we should make it... First of all, I don't think you should make it a battle. In democracy, elections are a celebration of our freedoms and our rights. So I don't see it as a battle, number one. Secondly, I think the candidates, representatives, are representing the candidate, not themselves. So I don't see how it can be any kind of competition or something between anyone else.
Also, Rohini, your experience in the social space, you've run a couple of NGOs. How helpful has that been, in campaigning for Nandan, reaching out to people? Has that made a big difference?
See, I've always in the last 15-20 years been meeting people, trying to understand their problems. My foundation, which works in water and sanitation, the earlier foundations which worked in children's publishing or in education, all of that required me to encounter all kinds of people, especially people who are left behind. So that experience has been there. Now I'm meeting even more kinds of people, and it's quite a sharp learning curve, yeah.
We've also had a lot of, famous personalities in Bangalore joining the campaign. You've had Ashok Soota, Girish Karnad.
Yes.
I even saw Arundhati Nag at one of the events. But is there a concern that this could be, a campaign of the classes and not so much of the masses? How are you going to ensure that it doesn't become that?
See, in fact, it's the other way around. See, all the while, people who are hoping that the government will deliver better have been coming out and voting, right? People from the middle and upper classes who have quite seceded from the government have stayed away. Now they have realized you don't stay away. You can't stay away. When my hand is broken, I know that unless my hand is healed, the rest of my body cannot work to its potential. I think people have woken up. The middle and upper classes are saying if we don't participate in the political processes, we can't do well, the country can't do well. It's a very welcome sign. So in fact, it's about telling them why their role is also important to be progressive, to be inclusive, to be liberal about the people left behind and also about their own situation.
Lastly, how has life changed for you, post Nandan's political plunge? How has it changed your routine? How has it changed the way people respond to you?
Well, we are in campaign mode. So obviously till the elections is get up every day. We have a wonderful team. You can see around me how many supporters are there who have probably come out, many of them for the first time, to actually get involved in electoral politics because of this man, because of this good candidate. And so right now we are focusing on helping Nandan to come and represent us all and do some good change in politics. So that just means, like you're seeing me now, all through the day there are all kinds of events. We meet people, we tell them about Nandan and why it would be good for them to have a candidate like this, that he will open up the gates for other good people to enter politics. That's what I do from morning till evening.
If the elections in Bangalore South were fought on social media, Nandan would have won hands down, courtesy his active blogging, tweeting and Facebook posts. It's a platform that he is increasingly using to take pot shots at his rival Anand Kumar, who he calls an absentee MP. Meanwhile, Anand Kumar loses no opportunity to tarnish the Congress and the Aadhar program, which he calls Niradhar. The rivalry between the two has become so intense that Congress and BJP workers came to blows at a recent public debate organized by the Bangalore Political Action Committee.
We were a bit naive in the sense that we did not expect this. We thought that we had political leaders who would sort of basically maintain a certain decorum. We had, shared with them the ground rules, which they all accepted. And then, of course, unfortunately, it ended and it got disrupted the way it did. I think you're going to see a certain section of voters probably looking at the candidates and another section of the voters saying, look, it's going to be about the party. So I think you're going to see a mix of both. Nandan is just making or trying to make his debut. So I think it's going to take him time before he really understands what it takes to be a politician, because it's not easy. But he's learning fast. I mean, he's always someone who's learned very fast, and I'm sure he's going to be able to, learn very, very fast in terms of what it takes to become a politician.
Well, here's a glimpse into Bangalore South to explain why the stakes are so high. The constituency has been a BJP stronghold since Anand Kumar first won the election in 1996. But his lead has narrowed considerably over the years. Kumar won the 2009 elections by a margin of just 37,000 votes. Nandan is hoping to cash in on the IT population, most of whom live and work in Bangalore South. Being a Brahmin himself, Nandan hopes to corner the Brahmin votes that traditionally went to the BJP. While Nandan's campaign is centered around his own individual success, Anand Kumar chants the Modi mantra at every step.
One big trend is the contest is really between the two of them. The other major parties are contesting, but they won't make a substantial difference to the outcome. I mean, the JDS has fielded a candidate, Aam Aadmi Party has a candidate, BSP has a candidate, there are other smaller parties have candidates. It remains to be seen whose votes they will eat into. But either way, I don't think they'll make a decisive difference. But between the two of them, I think it'll be it's a neck-to-neck contest from all appearances. Anant Kumar fighting as someone who's been there for a long time and as someone who will help Modi become the Prime Minister. In fact, that's his major claim to the voters. And you have Nandan Nilekani presenting himself as a clean candidate. And there's a clear mood in the country for clean leaders, and he is definitely making a strong appeal to that constituency. And he's been in Bangalore for a long time. He's associated with Infosys, which is which is associated with the growth of Bangalore in the last 20 years. So he's got factors working in his favor. We'll have to look at the electoral behavior very closely after it happens, because right now, you will have the traditional party supporter who will mostly be an older person who has voted party A or party B for a long time. You'll have them, and you also have a big chunk of youth voters this time. As you know, more than 50% of voters in Bangalore are under 30. And this chunk can play a very decisive role, and it remains to be seen who they will find more attractive.
We've been speaking to voters here, and the sense that we are getting is they don't like Anant Kumar. He may be unpopular, but they are willing to give him a chance again, keeping the national picture in mind. Nandan's big challenge is to counter the Modi wave and bank on his personal charisma and success to ensure that the votes come for him this time.
Frankly speaking, I really don't know what Anant Kumar has done in the last 5 times he has been here. But then Nilekani, since he's a corporate guy, he's an administrator. Basically, he's an administrator. So he'll see that systems are in place.
Nandan Nilekani is a good candidate, but he is in a wrong party this time because of so many scams. I think it's a difficult chance for him.
Center, we want a good leader like Modi, so we want to support BJP. Center-wise, he cannot have any voice there because it is ruled by Sonia Gandhi.
Nandan Nilekani is the right candidate. The party is not right. Where they have selected party, not right here. If they come with the independent candidate, that is the fight with Anant Kumar or XYZ. The selected party, not good.
Nandan is one of the, you can say, a more intelligent, or you can say a forward-looking person for who's going to take the India forward. But again, we feel like this person joining the Congress, as per my personal opinion, Congress is not the party which is going to take India to for the next generation.
Irrespective of Nandan's chances in his maiden elections, he's set to play a big role nationally going forward. Observers in political circles refer to him as Rahul Gandhi's Manmohan Singh, and his name even did the rounds a few months ago for the Prime Minister's role. Some even say that a Rajya Sabha ticket is a given if he loses out in the Lok Sabha. But for Nandan, the power through the Lok Sabha route is crucial to establish his political legitimacy and to prove that he hasn't just parachuted to power minus a political base.
Nandan Nilekani's predicament is much like the character Karna in Mahabharata. He's full of skill, generosity and intelligence, but seems to be a warrior fighting on the wrong side of the battle. Karna lost out in the Kurukshetra war, but can Nandan conquer Bangalore South? We'll know in the next few weeks. Chandra R. Shrikant, ET Now, Bangalore.